smells like shit. Ew.
Amazing.
I just feel like it's really an inconvenience factor. Like every time I go and eat in the quads, I get 1 or 2 trays of food, plates of food, and then I have to go back, put my stuff down, go get another bowl for my salad, go sit down, get my drink. It's just really inconvenient. The trays don't really get that dirty, I don't think. It doesn't take that long to wash them. And yeah.
I think the quads should bring back trays because it is so hard them not having trays because I'm holding my pudding and my fries and my drink and I can't carry everything. So I always go to the dining hall because they have trays and it's easier to carry all my food, not like the quads where I never want to go anymore because they don't have trays.
They already have the trays, so like what they do, just throw them away. It's just like a waste, I feel. Like they already had them on hand. They already had the system that they were using to wash them. I don't understand why it's an issue to quit using them, and I'm sure they still have them. They can easily just bring them back.
All right, man. So can you just give us a couple pointers about how you don't like the trayless quads?
Not really a fan of the trayless quads. I mean, everything carrying a bunch of plates for food. If you want something else from a different area, like getting different plates just makes it kind of harder. Makes it more of a hassle to just carry all of it. I think trays usually made it easier because you carry your food to your table and just made it simple for students to not make a mess. Like I know, like watching the custodians always having to clean up, it always sucks because usually people leave their stuff around. And trayless, having trays, everything on the tray, and you put it in the belt and it gets clean. I think having trays would make it a lot cleaner, a lot easier to get around.
And so what'd you do when you with this problem? Like what was your first step you took?
I talked to Andy and went to SGA and had them, like, told him about like what I thought about the problem, about how it'd be easier and how it'd be more convenient with trays, and talked to other students about it. I talked to a lot of students about it just to get the word out and just see what other people think, because obviously I'm not the only one since this has become a little bit of a problem. So yeah, I just went through the SGA and talked to the chains and going through that.
Welcome guys, so this is the SGA Suite, showing you around to some of the offices. The first office we're going to show you is Director of Finance and Director of Governmental Affairs. Your Director of Finance is pretty simple. They're in charge of a $230,000 budget. Your Governmental Affairs, they're in charge of legislation and bylaws that help govern everything the students are involved in. Up next, we got the Vice President's office, my man Josh Grady. This guy's in charge of making sure that the SORF funding goes well, which is about $75,000 worth of money that we give away to all the organizations on this campus. And this is my office, Andy Velasquez, President's office. We got the awesome Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan poster in there. If you ever feel like getting motivated, if you want to go ahead and show them what that poster looks like. Moving on, we got the Director of Academic Affairs and Director of Leadership Development. The Academic Affairs is actually in charge of making sure that all the students are being treated fairly across the board. If faculty are doing something that's not humane or that doesn't align with the rules in regards to study week and finals week, this is the person to talk to. Leadership Development, they're in charge of having a group of 30 to 40 people that were privately selected through application pools to develop them in their success as a student here at Indiana State University. We've got the Director of Public Relations, Director of Student Engagement, and our Senate Speaker. The PR, it's pretty simple. They're in charge of communication streams all across campus and the community to make sure that everyone knows who Student Government Association is. You also have the Director of Student Engagement, and she's in charge of creating events and programs that help students get involved here on campus. And then Senate Speaker, that's the person that runs the Senate, which is essentially all the members of Student Government Association.
I
name is Deanna Cornelius, and I am a Student Government Association Executive Assistant. I help majority of the directors in the office, and I also help with the Pride and Traditions, and I help sign people up for the forest, let them know what the forest is. Pretty much what I do is just help anyone who needs who has any questions about anything, you know, if they need help with financing and stuff, I can just tell them what directors to go to, and that's what I pretty much do.
We've created a student food committee so students can give their opinion based on what they would like to see on campus. We're trying to help them change the food to what they want, and this also applies to things like changing the trays, or maybe if they want to change something in the student union. Therefore, if students would like to change something such as the trays and the quads, they can give their opinion to Sodexo directly, and we can get changes that they would like to see in the dining halls.
Alright, so Tisha, as student engagement, just how do you plan really to connect to the students on campus, and like how do you plan if they have an issue, like what do you do when they bring you that issue?
Well, the first thing that I did in this position was try to identify all the problems. So we kind of took out a survey to get some data, and once we identify those problems, we're doing some implementation now. So kind of just creating different events for students to get engaged, because although people like free food, a lot of people like to give back to the community as well. So it's just a matter of doing all different aspects to get students engaged.
Hello guys, name's Andy Velasquez, President of Student Government Association. So as we said before, our job is to be the liaison between administration and the students. And it's been brought to my attention that numerous students are very uncomfortable with the fact that we no longer have trays in the quads. And that's a problem. And we're here to fix that problem. That's what our job as Student Government Association is. How are we going to fix that problem? We're going to start with the Senate. Our Senate's going to write up legislation that's going to talk about the fact that we do not agree with not having trays in the quads. Once that legislation is passed, I'm going to endorse it as the President of Student Government Association. After I endorse it, we're going to have a meeting with people such as President Bradley and other key administration on this campus that are then going to make the changes necessary to make sure that the students are getting what they want. Because ultimately, that's what we're here for, is to give the students what they want and need and deserve.
Check and balance of the judiciary and executive branch. We make sure that the SGA president, vice president, and directors, his cabinet officials, are doing their job what they're supposed to do. We also give reports of what our committee is doing. Example, since I'm the chairman of governmental affairs, I report to everybody in Senate, and my director, who is the executive director of government affairs, of what we are planning to do. Like if we want to maybe have classes canvass on election day to have voter turnout, or change a clause in our Constitution standing with the Senate, or our code, which is basically our bylaws. We also have events on campus for students to be aware of who we are. Like we have the Forest, where it's one of the largest organizations on campus for students to come out who don't have anything to do in their dorm, to go to athletic events. Or we have an open house where we invite the student population, talk to us, and hear their complaints and what SGA could do. The powers that we have is making amendments to our Constitution on issues that can have a dramatic effect, or we can just pass legislation, especially since I've been involved in SGA since my freshman year. I've seen a dramatic change, especially with academics, where before, for midterms, you would just get an NA, meaning that you were passing the class, and it didn't give you really a grade of what that meant. So there were students who didn't have grades on their blackboard if professors never used them. They are now required to put an actual grade on there if they have a C or higher. So that was one thing that happened freshman year of my experience for SGA, and we have also done other issues to tackle on, especially parking. For handicap, my sophomore year, we had an issue where people who were parking in the handicaps and...
Student Government Association.
Student Government Association.
Student Government Association.
SGA.
Student Government Association.
Associazione Studenti di Government.
Student Government Association.
Student Government Association.
Student Government Association, 6th floor of HMSU, here for all of your concerns.